Hi there, it's David Young, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to talk a little bit about today, we're going to go through some data, but we're going to go through what I call your 4 must-have shots if you want to break 90. Okay, now for me, the important thing is when you're playing is understanding what you need to do for your level. That's why I call myself the Resourceful Coach. It's getting some understanding of really 3 or 4 things that you need to do. And the number one thing for me, I always speak to my golfers about, is the level they want to play to. That for me is the most important thing. Very few golfers walk through the door to me and say, look, I want to be on tour next week. They're normally about 10 to 12 years old. The rest of you generally are saying to me, look, how do I break 100? How do I break 90? How do I break 80? And this video is going to focus on how to break 90. So we've come out here onto the 4th hole and it just works out. I've looked at my data. It's a 361 yard hole. And that becomes really anything between roughly 350, 380 becomes a par 5 for a player who wants to shoot around about 90. So we're going to show you, just happens to work out that all of the 4 shots that I want to go through today are going to fit in exactly where we want to be. And this is what I want you to go and practice. Now there are 12 shots of golf in my data, okay, ranging from different putts with shots with putting, chipping, bunkers, all the way through to your driving. We're going to focus on 4 shots I think you can go to your practice ground, you can go to your golf course, you can go to the driving range and develop very, very easily. So, as I said, we're going to play this hole. We're going to show you those 4 shots. Now, first shot, the drive. And it's a little bit, for me, it's finding that shot that you know you can find the fairway. It's a fairway finder. We want to keep that ball straight. And what we're looking for is a shot anywhere really, around about 180 yards would be a good number. But if you're 5% less, so 170 or 5% more, 190, you are now going to play consistently bogey golf off the tee. We're just looking at each shot individually to play to that bogey level, that 90 level. If you have the ability to hit it further, great, because that allows you to bring your handicap down. But the most important thing is finding that fairway. So that's the important thing. If you can develop it more, get to, just give you some numbers, 220 roughly, you'll be playing single figure, so shooting near 80. Get to 250, 260, consistently hitting the fairway. We're talking 75%, you're now playing to scratch golf. Ignore the guys on TV. They're hitting it a long way. We don't need to do that. So here we go. We're going to play this hole. We're going to play each shot if we can, average it out. So I'm looking for about 180. Now, the important thing is, I don't care what golf club you use to achieve that. If you're somebody who's consistent with an iron, you can hit a 4-iron 180 and you can hit it down the fairway, great. But you haven't got the consistency with a wood, doesn't matter. Hit the iron 180. Hybrid 180. Okay, that's what I'm going to use. Fairway wood 180. Driver 180. Whatever works for you. That's everything about my teaching. It's about making sure you achieve what you want. So let's play the hole. Let's see what we've got. So par 4 here, it goes up, what I call a 10 o'clock dog leg. Dog legs round. I'm looking for a shot, as I said, 175, 180. I'm aiming straight down the middle of the fairway. Smooth swing of my hybrid, should get around that number. Yep, nice and smooth. See what we get when we get up there. Yep. So it's a little bit left of where I want to be, but actually that will fit in perfectly with the second shot that we're going to play when we get up there. Okay, so tee shot number 1, first must-have shot, get it on the fairway anywhere. 180 we'll call it the number, but anywhere 170, 190, you're doing great. So here's where we've ended up. Achieved the number 1 goal. I've hit the fairway. We're going to take a little reading back to the tee. I'm not interested what I've got to the green, because the goal was, can I get it 170 to 190 off the tee? That was my goal, around about that 180. And we've hit that 176. So we're pretty much where we want to be. But most important, we've found the fairway. That's the important thing. If you found the fairway, you've got a chance with the next shot. So we're going to call that first shot a fairway finder. We're going to call the second shot a fairway finder. Okay, we're looking for a shot now. We can advance up the hole around about 150 yards. So remember what I'm looking to achieve on this hole. I want a 5. Okay, bogey's good. If I happen to get a 4, bonus. Now, relative to my tie, I'll let you know how far I've got to go. You can probably see through there. It's quite tight going up. Let's just put that pocket back in properly. And we'll take a reading up to the green. And again, I'm never against you having a go at it, but it's 173 up to that green. and we've hit it 178. So I could hit my hybrid and probably knock it on the green. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about understanding what you need to achieve for your level. So I got 176 off the tee. I'm now looking for a shot of around about 150. So I've just got a 7-iron. That's all I'm going to take here. I'm going to move it up the fairway, 170, and the goal is to hit the fairway. But again, let's take our 5% either side. If I end up around about 140, 145 or 155, great, I'm in that area. So we're not going to be that exact. We're looking for that shot. So let's keep this ball moving up the fairway nicely. So that's the goal, nicely up the fairway. Good. And the goal is really, from where we've ended up after 2 shots, is to be in that inside that 50 yards. And that brings us on to our third must-have. So first 2 must-haves are very much around your golf swing. Develop a golf swing. You can hit a tee shot 175, hit a second shot, doesn't matter what it is, of around about 150, and you're doing what we need to do. So you can work out in your mind, we're looking for around about 320 to 340 over those 2 shots. If you can consistently do that, but remember, hit the fairway with it, you will play bogey golf easily. Okay, your long game is now easily bogey golf level. If not, probably, if we're honest, you'll probably start getting closer to 85. So probably closer to near a 13, 14 handicap. Now let's go and look at the 2 short game shots that we need to have to, again, consistently keep this game moving forward so golf becomes easy to break 90. So we've shown you the 2 fairway finders. We're up here near the green, and let's see what we've got. And this is our third must-have shot. I think for most golfers, what have we got? We've got 35 yards, but we're going to call this really inside 50 yards. The must-have, never miss the green. Okay, I don't care where you are on the green, you must hit that green. Develop a technique that works for you. Now, for me, I'm going to look at 3 different clubs. So I'm going to give you 3 different options. Okay, and we may even chuck a 4th in towards the end. But number 1 option is go with the club you're most comfortable with. Okay, that's the key thing. Here we've got a little bit of fairway, we've got a bit of a bank, we're up onto the green, and we've got approximately 30 feet of green to play with. But here's the important thing. I've got 30 feet the other side of the flag as well. Okay, and people are scared of having a downhill putt. What's always quite interesting is when we see tour players and they've got a downhill putt, they don't mind it because then they just have to work on the line and get the ball rolling. Amateurs are scared of going past because they think, well, it's going to be a much tougher putt. But again, if you're somebody who doesn't get the ball to the hole, if you go past, you've got a downhill putt, makes it easier. But the whole idea, what I'm trying to get here, it's a circle around the hole. Get it anywhere on that green and you're achieving what you need to do. For me, I would use a 56. That would be my club. Why am I using that? Because straight away, I feel I can land the ball on the green and I can get it to stop. So that's my option. But that's the goal. As long as I hit the green, that's the main objective. So that's shot number 1. I feel I can land this good halfway between the edge of the green and the flag. A little bit of weight left side. Pop it up nicely. And what have we got as a result? We're on the green. Perfect. Now, if you're not confident with that, don't worry. Okay, I think that's important to understand. You might feel a bit happier using, say, a gap wedge. So that would be something like a 50 degree, okay? And that's okay. I've landed that comfortably at the green. If I'm using a 50 degree, I can land it a little bit shorter. Why you might be happy with this, it doesn't feel such a big swing. So you can control that shot nicely up there, land it on the front of the green, and that one then runs up a little bit more. Okay, similar results, but I'm on the green. That's the goal. That's all I'm interested in. Hit the green. Okay, then I've got a third option. Now you can run the ball up there, especially in this situation. There's nothing in the way. And I'd give you 2 options. You could play something like a 7, 8, 9 iron, anything like that. I've even got people having much more success using like a hybrid from here. Remember the goal. Get it on the green. That's all we're interested in. Get it on the green. So I'm going to take a 9. I'm going to land it short of the green, let it run up there. As long as this ball ends up on the green, I'm fine. Again, shorter swing. Doesn't feel so much can go wrong with it. Play it into the bank. And there we go. 3 balls on the green. That's all you've got to do. Develop something. This is the shot I would say to you. Whatever level you are, 50 yards, never want to miss that green. I'm 35 yards away here. Never miss that green. Hit that green. Then the great thing is, take it to 60 yards and then 70 yards. And amazingly, if you can now make sure you hit the green from 70 yards, you are a single figure golfer. Yes, you are single figures from 70 yards. And if you can get it back to 100, you're a scratch golfer if you hit the green every time. If you look at the stats on the PGA Tour, even those players are missing greens. Normally, the best on tour from 100 yards is hitting 9 out of 10. They're still missing 1 out of 10. But from 50 yards, they're not, okay? That's the important thing. Get it on that green. That's all you're thinking. I don't care how you do it. 9-iron I used, gap wedge, bit more lofted like a sand wedge. Whatever works, get it on the green. So that's your third one, short game. Going to say it again, get it on the green. You're going to get bored of me saying it. Let's go and look at the fourth must-have, and that's your putter. So here's our fourth must-have shot. Let's go through the data, understand what you've got to do, and it's your putting, and it's never 3-putt inside 15 feet. Simple as that. So approximately, for somebody like me, I'm about 5'9". That's about 6 paces from the hole. Okay, if you're a bit bigger than me, it might be 5 paces. If you're a little bit shorter, 7 or 8 paces. So 15 feet is your number. If you can guarantee that you will never 3-putt inside this distance, you will start getting rid of what I call unforced errors. Okay, this is the big thing I want you to look at. When we look at things like tennis, when the player's just playing a standard shot and he knocks it in the net or knocks it out of court, it's an unforced error. It's a shot you shouldn't do. And that's what I want you to feel with these idea of these 4 shots. Let's call them unforced errors. So if I'm putting 15 feet, roughly 6 paces away from the hole, yes, I want to hole it, but the goal is make sure you get that putt close enough to the hole that you think next time I'm going to get the next one in. If it goes in, it's a bonus. Okay? And the important thing is practice all different types of putt from this distance, 6 paces. Get the ball rolling up to the hole. So there you go. One went in, one's ended up a foot away. As long as I concentrate on what I'm doing, we're going to put that in the hole. Okay? And as I said, practice from different places. I put a couple of balls over here, now going to give me a right to left breaking putt. You're going to have a little bit of a look at my back for a bit here. But again, practice a couple from this position. A little bit of right to left, work out the speed that you've got to hit if you're putting it on that line. And get the feel of what you're doing from that position. And get that ball rolling up to the hole. Look, there we go. We got 3 putts down in 2. And we got 1 in 1. And that's what we're looking to do. If I suddenly 3-putt that, relative to my stats, 15 feet is the average 2-putt for a player shooting bogey golf. If you take 3 putts, you've just wasted a shot. It's a bit like missing that green from 35 yards and you put it over the back of the green. You've wasted a shot. It's an unforced error. It's a shot we don't want. Get rid of those unforced errors and you will start shooting a lot better scores. Now, let's give you some more stats. We've tried to give you that a little bit on the shot into the green. We said if you get back to 100 yards and get down in 3, you're a scratch golfer. Well, 25 feet is a scratch golfer's average 2-putt. So, for me, that would be about 10 paces away from the hole. Get my brain working, about 2.5 feet. 10 paces from the hole. If you want to shoot around about bogey golf, you're somewhere in the middle, about 20 feet, so about 8 paces. So there's your sort of guidelines. And what I would say to all of you, short game isn't a power part of the game. So it's a part of the game that you can get a level of control on very, very easily. Practice this a lot, okay? For me, it was always about hit fairways, have a good short game. If I could do that straight away, even as a junior golfer, I got under that 18 handicap very, very quickly. And then with a solid short game, I found then as I started to hit the ball further, my handicap dropped quite quickly from that position. So let's recap those 4 must-haves. Number 1 off the tee, we're looking for 180 yards. As we said, 170 to 190, but it's got to hit the fairway, fairway finder. Number 2, another fairway finder, that second shot, maintaining your level. We'll call it a fairway maintainer. We're looking for a shot around about 150, but again, 140 to 160, perfect. So now you've got something around about that sort of 310 to 340 after 2 shots. So when you're playing a hole like this of 360, you're going to be somewhere between 20 to 50 yards from the green. That brings us into the green finder. Find that green. Never miss that green from 50 yards in. Okay, that's your goal. And as you develop that, look at the last stat. See if we can start chipping that ball into that 15 to 20 foot area. 15 feet is your average 2-putt. 20 feet would be what we would say a single figure golfer would do. And I would probably, if I'm honest, I would give most people having a go at that. Because if you can start doing it from 20 feet, 15 feet is going to be easy. And that's the goal that we'll look for. Those 4 must-have shots. I know there's 12 shots of golf in my ideas and my data, but you develop those 4 shots, it will expand to all areas of your game. Before you know it, you'll be able to hit 175 yards down the fairway. Okay, because you can do it off the tee. You might start getting that tee shot 200 yards down the fairway. It will make such a difference. Before you know it, you could be getting closer to that 80 number. I hope you've enjoyed that video. It's going through, as we said, the process of understanding what you really need to achieve. Find your way to do it. It's not technically your swing. It's giving you some data to say 180 off the tee, 150 off the fairway, always hit the green from 50 yards and in, and always feel you're going to 2-putt inside 15 feet. Do that and you'll break 90 every time you go out and play. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. It's really about understanding what you need to do to get to that level. If you have enjoyed it, please share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you soon.